The Recent File screen greets you when you first launch Revit. The screen gives you quick access to the most recently used project and family files. You'll also find quick links to various resources, mostly online resources that may be of interest to you, like the user community and what's new and things like that. So let's take a look. Here's our Recent Files screen as it appears in Revit Architecture. I've got my projects area at the top and my families area beneath that. The last 4 projects that you had open are shown there with icons up to the last 4, because as you can see here with the family area, I haven't opened any families yet, so I only see 2 items there. Now, what you see on your screen may vary slightly because naturally you might have opened different files than I have. So the specific items that are listed here aren't that important. It's just simply that it's a quick way for you to get to that file again. So if I was working on this project yesterday and I want to reopen it again today, all I have to do is click this icon and it will launch that file for me. Now, if that's not the file that I want to work on, I have some options over here. I can click the open link and that would take me to a browse window and I can go out and locate the project that I want to open. I'm going to cancel that. I can click this new link here, and that will create a new project just based on the default template, whatever that happens to be, okay? And that's a setting that we can actually change. Or I've got a few other template choices that are listed here, which also may vary on one installation of Revit to the next. So what you see specifically listed here on your screen might vary slightly. Now, the other way that we can access all of these similar commands, new and open and save, is using the application menu. So I'd like to show you that now, but before I do, I'm going to just create using this architectural template link just to create a blank file to have as a backdrop. The reason for that is as you'll notice, many of the interface items are not actually loaded until you have a project loaded. So what I have loaded in the background is not really important, but I want to focus on the application menu here, and I just needed to have something open in the background in order to do that. Now, the application menu can best be described as essentially the file menu for Revit. You have things like new and open and save, your typical commands that you would expect to find in a file menu. We have print and, of course, close, all of the sort of standard commands for file management. Now, the way these work is if I just simply click the item, like the new item, I'll actually get a second project that will load up. I'm currently in project 1, but if I were to just click right on new, it would create project 2. If I hover over new, you can see that it loads up a menu over here in the side of the application menu and gives me some options. So I could create either a new project or a new family or a new conceptual mass. So if you want to create one of these other types of files, then that's the way you do it. You just simply pause your mouse first over the new item, and then that will make the others appear. Let me show you that with the open item. If I pause over open, now I can either open projects or families or building components and so on. Now, a command like save doesn't have any sub-options, so it's just simply a command that you would click. Save as does have options, so it's got the little arrow over here, and again, you pause over it, and you'll see the different options that are available. In some cases, like this library option, there's a further flyout here. This tiny little triangle here is showing me that, and I could save as a family, a group, or a view. So there are various options that become evident as you hover over each one of these little things. Now, if I collapse all of that and take my mouse off of any of those commands, at the very top here, you see 2 small icons, one that's labeled Recent Documents and another one that's labeled Open Documents. Now, Recent Documents is listing the 2 files that I've previously opened in the last chapter. Yours may vary depending on how many previous Revit files you've had opened. The list can hold several items here. There's plenty of room. And if there's an item that you want to keep on the list permanently, we have this little push pin feature over here. So the way this works is if you just simply click this little icon right there, that will pin that item to the list. And then as this list grows, what normally happens is the items that you've opened most recently stay on the list, and the ones you opened long ago will eventually scroll off the list when you run out of room down here at the bottom. If you click the push pin, that item will stay on the list. It will maintain its spot and stay on the list, and other items will scroll past it. So if there's a project that you want to make sure that you always have quick access to, that's a great way to do it. If you switch to this icon, this just shows you what you currently have open. And you can see at the moment, all I have open is project 1. If I opened another project, like the hierarchy file from the previous chapter, and then open this up, you can see that it now lists both items here on the list. So as you open additional files, they will just simply appear there on the list. So the Recent File screen and the Application menu both provide quick and easy access to your most recently used projects and families in Revit. Use Recent Files to get started when you first launch Revit, and you can use the Application menu anytime to open and close files or create new files and generate output as you're working in the software.